I'd like to go ahead and call for a motion to enter back into regular session, please. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Just want to, for the record, state in executive session we did discuss personnel matters and we also discussed threatened and pending litigation. We will now go back to the regular business listed on the agenda, and we will go to approval of the minutes for February 22nd, 2012 regular meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I will now call for approval of minutes for the February 16th, 2012 special meeting. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second to the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We will now go to approval of the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. We will now go to approval of the consent agenda. A motion for approval?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We will now go to public requests. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak for 2 minutes on any subject not currently listed on the agenda, this would be the time to do so. Okay, thank you. We now will go to department requests and reports. Item number 1 will be department updates. Oh, you raised your hand. Sorry, Cindy.
Oh, you don't go ahead, Cindy. I know you've got busy.
Commissioners and County Manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Cindy. If you're going to do a department update, just maybe we could just kind of streamline it. If you guys just want to sit in the front row in order of who's going to go next, that way we can just keep going. Ruben, you'll be next.
We'll just be that sounds good.
At the last commission meeting, I gave you guys a little bit of a heads up that it was going to be a little bit different format. I'm not sure I'm happy with this, but you can give me any comments, if you'd like. For February, we had a total of 79 animals. 69 of them came from Torrance County, 4 from Moriarty, 6 from Estancia. At the time of this report, there were still 6 in the shelter. The new thing is how we're categorizing these. We had 23 live exits, 7 stray euthanasias, and 41 owner turnover euthanasias. Based on the information that I received from some other agencies, to break this out so it doesn't look like we had 48 euthanasias and 25 live exits. The owner turnovers are ones that the public are actually coming in and requesting because their animals are injured or elderly. So you can see what a huge difference that makes, right? So I was kind of excited about that. 7 were euthanized in the shelter for medical reasons or behavior. They weren't deemed adoptable animals for one reason or another, whether it was an injury or something else. We have 70 dogs, 9 cats. No bite cases for February. We have 2 full-time employees, 1 part-time employee at this time. We are hiring. We brought Jonna Cedillo in on January 10th, and she's working out fabulously. We're still hitting about 5,000 views on our pet finders and our Facebook and our adopted pets, so that's really wonderful for us. And at this time, still just waiting to get, some blueprints and things for the new building and moving forward with that. That's kind of all I have for you today. Any questions?
Any questions?
I have none. Thank you.
I like the new report. It's very easy to understand. The other report was too, but it was, it was a lot bigger, but thank you.
Thank you.
Ruben?
Good morning.
Good morning.
The rule addressing, we just finished off 2 GIS classes that I hosted here in PSEP or dispatch. That was very successful. I got really good reports on that from the students that were there. There were students from all over the state. So they were extremely happy with the classes that we hosted, and they're looking forward to me doing this again. Totally not sure about that yet, so it was very tough in a sense. And I just upgraded some new software, still learning it. Doing okay. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ruben. I heard those classes were wonderful and that you really set a good standard for them, so we appreciate you doing that.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Manager.
Good morning.
NRPCA is the New Mexico Primary Care Association, and that's where we get our funding to do Medicaid enrollment. We went to a quarterly meeting a week ago, and we were informed and are kind of excited that with the new health care initiative, they're going to utilize the framework that we use to enroll as the launch to that next year. It's in the works, and we'll get additional funding to provide that. So that's kind of a great thing for our program and the community. They expect to enroll 90% of the state's population that's uninsured by 2015. So it's going to be a big project. Upon visiting, we submitted our budget. It's the same as last year, and we're good with that. We conducted interviews for new employees. DV, we're still working for the response, on the response for our RFP. I spoke to the state manager. We should hear in the next day or 2. They said nobody gets what they asked for, so we'll be negotiating our budget. Also, I was invited to attend the American Cancer Society. It was a luncheon, corporate luncheon, and they would like us to work kind of in the community to help organize a team to attend the walk in April. So I'm looking at doing that. Our car seat program is averaging 10 car seats a month, which is really exciting. And I don't want anybody to forget our health and safety direct on the 24th. It's from 1 to 4 at the Civic Center in Moriarty. Any questions?
I have none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic.
Good morning.
Good morning. We should have all worn a logo shirt today. Awesome, thank you.
Okay, the report that I sent you for the end of February, for the general fund, it was 780,000, but I gave you an update. That's the report that I handed you now. That's as of today. The general fund is down to 588, 936.45 if you look at the top. And then all the funds, you can look at the totals. The road department did get their monies in, and they don't know it yet, but the other wire hit today. So they got all their project monies in, and so I know they're very happy so they can get, their projects going. And the only thing that we've collected for up to date is on the very last page. You'll see undistributed tax current and undistributed tax delinquent. Those are taxes that we've collected. I put a take on the bottom. The only part that'll belong to us is half of that, is 35,000. That'll go into the general fund because the other half is distribution for the schools and the city and all that. Now, there is another report that I handed to you, and it's outstanding, so that you can check with all the line items, that how much money's in there. But then you can go to this report, and for instance, on the general fund, there's still 15,000 that was outstanding as of today. But that doesn't mean if there's anything that hasn't been posted in accounts payable, if there's anything that's gonna be posted after today or today, that'll change that figure, and that'll change the general fund also. Okay? And that's all I really have to report. Second half taxes, again, we're hoping they'll come in pretty soon here in April and May, and that'll change the general fund big time.
Well, thank you, Dorothy. Are there any questions from the table?
I do not have any, Madam Chair.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Janice.
Morning, Commissioners, County Manager. I'd like to report first on the Drug-Free Communities Program. We, along with the other members of the Substance Abuse Prevention Task Force, hosted the Spring Youth Leadership Summit at the Civic Center last week, and it was a very successful summit. Michael Barker did most of the facilitation, and the summit was centered on creation of social media and marketing for positive messaging. And so the kids actually worked with Michael to create a Facebook page with 3 separate links, and the topics were to work on substance abuse, bullying, and adolescent or teen pregnancy issues. And so that is up and running on Facebook, and I would suggest that you, if any of you are Facebook aficionados, go to Facebook and take a look and respond when you have the opportunity. It means a great deal to them. It was a very successful summit. Michael is a wonderful facilitator, so we were really happy to see him in operation as a member of the team. And next time I would hope that you could all be there. April 23rd will be the annual Community Substance Abuse Forum. That will also be at the Civic Center. And we are going to be centering around the issue of prescription and over-the-counter drug abuse, because that is beyond an emerging problem in our community. It is an epidemic problem throughout the country and throughout the state, and is certainly increasing in incidence in our community. And so we really need our policymakers there, as well as our provider network, to help us brainstorm on how we want to address this, and we will have some knowledgeable speakers on hand also. So the public is all invited to attend. We do registration and light breakfast from 8:30 to 9, and then the summit itself will run from 9 to 11:30. So if you can be there, please do. Yesterday, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, Billy Clark, who's the program manager for the Teen Outreach Program, attended an all-day mandatory state training for top programs, and the state adopted the top program as the model. So she was in Santa Fe for the day. It was basically reviewing the model itself, the program requirements, and designed to ensure fidelity to the model and some standardization of programs. So that took place. On the juvenile justice program, we have some not so good news and some relatively good news. The not so good news is, for any of you that did not hear, the governor vetoed by line item the $490,000 capital outlay appropriation for a multipurpose youth center. So that money is no longer on the table, regretfully so. At least in our perspective, regretfully so. So we will begin to work on other strategies. there's a strategic planning committee meeting on this Thursday at the CYFD conference room. That will be from 12 to 1 or 1:30 at the very latest. And then the strategic planning committee will be making some decisions on moving forward, and there will be a full board meeting to which we invite all of you, since we had talked about a joint meeting at our last commission meeting. And that will be on the 29th of this month at 12 noon in courtroom 2 at District Court. So if you can be there, that would be wonderful.
Did you say that was the 29th?
The 29th. And the good news is we received an email letter from the Annie E. Casey Foundation, and they have invited us to submit a letter of interest for participating in their initiative to reduce juvenile incarceration and to really look at some solutions to deep-end programming. And so we're submitting the initial letter of interest by the 16th, and that will be in an email format. And then by the end of the month, we will need to submit a full letter of interest explaining our program and what we are planning to do and how and why that fits with the Casey philosophy, their program, and their priorities, and also why we would be able to do data collection and analysis and be a full functioning partner of a national initiative. So we will be working on those initiatives. I did notice that the Torrance County Juvenile Justice Board request for a vehicle is later in the agenda. From the board's standpoint, I think we would prefer that this be withdrawn at this time until we have a more solidified agenda moving forward and a firm timeline, which we should have by the middle of the next month. And I'll stand for questions.
I'll start. Thank you, Pat, for your presentation. So the letter of invitation that was received from the Casey Foundation is what we needed to let us go ahead and put the letter of interest in then?
It is. It's a selective solicitation, so you must be invited to apply.
It's very positive.
So it's very positive.
Thank
Esther is over the moon.
you. Good. I don't have any further questions, Commissioner.
No.
Okay, thank you, Pat.
Good morning, Greg.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. What I'm giving you is just a rough draft. I apologize, I don't have any of the final one done yet. Our notices of value are at the printer, and they will be mailed out on March the 30th, and all property owners will have the 30 days until April 30th to come in for any exemptions or questions or any appealing of the valuations. This is what we have put in. There's several other counties that are doing it already, and we put this insert in that'll be going out to all the taxpayers, the property owners, with their notices of value. It will be in a canary yellow, so it will be very noticeable, and it simplifies all of the state statute jargon on the back of the notice of value that we have to put on there. So we think this will help. We think we'll get a lot more questions and participants, especially of the head household exemptions, any veterans exemptions, and the valuation freeze for the low income over 65 or low income disabled. So we're hoping this will help because those are the only ways per state statute that we can really do to help decrease any property tax values, or, to help our citizens and all the property owners of the county. So I just wanted you to see that, and as soon as we get this, because I'm hoping that I will be able to put this in a letter form, and it will be hopefully in our 2 local newspapers next week or week after, so that'll get a little more. Last year, we even went around the county, Marianne and I went out and put flyers up in places that we could, like in municipal buildings and any place that we could put one where people could see that these are some of the things that they can apply for. Any way to help is that we can, in keeping their property tax values down some. So I just wanted to share that with you, and that's what we're doing. So April will be a very busy month for us with the protest period. And then there's also an assessor affiliate meeting in April, and then April 16th, they will be doing, the property tax division will be down doing the office evaluation. And they do give you all a full report of that. It probably takes about 60 days before they get that report out, because they send it out to, they don't send it out until they do all 33 counties. And so it takes them about 60 days to get the evaluation out on how we're doing. So that's all I have today. Any questions?
I have one question, Betty. On the evaluation freeze, is that something that a lot of residents in Torrance County utilize?
And I just finished with what I have now, and I haven't done a count yet. I think we just have probably about 100 of them. Not even 100, I don't think. I know we have more every year, and that's one of the things that a lot of people don't know about, and that was one reason why we were putting this in there too. That, and from a meeting I was at on Monday, I was at a luncheon meeting, and the Cabinet Secretary of the Veterans Affairs was there, and his presentation showed that we have 2,102 veterans living in Torrance County. And I know we do, and I would say I don't know how many of them are actually property owners and reside in their homes here in the county. But we have nowhere near that where veterans are getting their $4,000 exemption, or if they're 100% disabled, they're 100% disabled exemptions. And I don't know how to reach those either. I'm going to be talking to the Cabinet Secretary, and at least get to his office and ask them if there's something we can even give out to their different offices, just statewide, for something like this, an informational thing, so that they know to go to their county assessors to ask for and get their $4,000 exemption, for example, and then especially the 100% disabled, because they don't pay the property tax, they only have to pay the soil conservation tax, which we're also getting rid of that too this year in this county at least. And so there's a lot of ways, and we don't know. That's why we're just trying to get out as many ways as we can.
I think this is an excellent piece of information to mail out, especially the valuation freeze, because I know a lot of people that could benefit from that. So I'm just going to read it real quick. Valuation freeze: if you are 65 years or older or permanently disabled at any age and had a total household income of $32,000 or less in the prior tax year, you may qualify for a property valuation freeze for your residence. Application must be submitted along with proof of income and/or age and disability. Freezing your valuation will help minimize increased property taxes, and you must reapply every year. I think that's going to really help educate when you send these out, because you might have applied for it, but you may not know that you need to do it every year. So I think that's really wonderful.
And one of the things we have done last year, and that's really helped too, and there are a couple of other counties that are doing that, and that's where we got the idea from, is that all the people that had that freeze last year, we send out a reminder letter as soon as we get the new forms in January. And we send a letter with the new form telling them that, it's time to reapply. Because of course, with head of household and your veterans exemptions, once they're established on your account, you don't have to do anything about it anymore because they stay there as long as you own the property.
Do they have to come fill out that form here, or like could they have some blank forms maybe at the local VFW posts that they could pick up there and, encourage their members if they qualify, or do they have to come get the blank form here?
Well, no, they have to get a certificate from the Department of Veterans Affairs with their DD
214.
214, thank you, never can remember that one, I apologize. But they have to get a certificate from them, and then they bring it to us, and we have to sign on the back of it, and, to get that one set up. So, and that's a good idea too, because we can put like this even at places like that. And we'll be getting a bunch of these, and like I said, this is just the draft, so it's not quite clean to do that, and I will get them out, and I'll be putting them in boxes to everybody's boxes, so y'all can have them, and if you want to get more, or make copies of them, or put them anywhere you think, or...
Even on your website?
And this form, we can put this on the website as well. Yeah. Because we do have all the forms, all the applications for head of household, and then of course they are part of your notice of value, as they are part of your, well, actually part of the tax bill too, because they talk about all of those things at tax time as well. They aren't, on your notice of value, you can tear off part of the notice of value and send it back in to us with an address change, or that you want the head of household, or all of that, and we can work from that as well. So we just keep trying to educate, because we did find over the years, and a lot of the counties are doing it now, because a lot of people don't know, and it is difficult to read. Well, first of all, the print's so small, which I can't read them very well on the back, all the statute information, and then I'm sorry, it's kind of legal jargon, and it's hard to understand, well, what does that mean? So that's why we tried to simplify this, and we're trying to get it out a lot more.
Great, thank you, Betty.
Thank you.
Lou, before you sit down, I'll get some questions.
Thank you.
Okay. Just to have a better thought process, on a $1,000 exemption, I know you have a $2,000 and a $4,000. On a $100,000 home, how much does that give you a discount on your taxes?
The $2,000 exemption is around the $50 range.
Around
On your,
50?
yeah.
Okay, and
So-
then on 4,000,
It'd be about
$100.
$100 on that, and then, of course, the 100% disabled debts, it reduces their value completely.
Okay.